Okay, team, we're going to get started with our workshop today. All good. For those who are watching this video later on, this would be great to go through. So I'm going to share this through a PowerPoint presentation as well. That way we can all go through, and then I'm going to actually flip the computer over and going to actually then go through some food stuff here with you. Yeah, might be able to do that, or I might be able to just join the meeting with the phone. No, I'll probably just do the laptop actually. All good. All right. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. And there we are. Okay. All right. So, okay. Welcome everybody to our Shred and Strength Challenge. And this is our health and well-being workshop. So what we're going to go through today, team, is basically the ins and outs of the challenge, and especially a lot about food, as well, more so about food and how that can accelerate our weight loss. So a few things quickly, though, I'll go through. One, you've joined the closed Facebook page, which you obviously all have. Two, downloaded meal and training programs. If you have, great. If you haven't, please let me know. And I can get those too. I'll make it a little bit more accessible, okay, especially if we're not using Facebook as much. You've already weighed in on your Mondays and your Fridays and sent me those messages. I believe all of you have, so excellent work. Point number 4 is that you're either sticking to a meal plan or following the calorie guides, which is for females between 14 and 1700, and for males between 19 and 2500. So again, it doesn't matter which one you do, as long as you have some form method that you're doing. One thing's for sure, don't keep doing the same thing you were doing before the challenge and then expecting different results. Okay, we got to change it up. Point number 5, using MyFitnessPal. Okay, if you're using MyFitnessPal, add me as a friend, and I've put all that information in the group in how to add me as a friend. Point number 6, purchase a Fitbit or Apple Watch or pedometer device of some kind that can monitor your steps. We want to be able to monitor your daily exercise, obviously then your daily nutrition. We focus on those 2 factors to a very large degree. From there, that's the best way in how we can help you transition with losing more weight and body fat, okay? They're the 2 biggest things that we always look at. Point number 7, if you have any questions regarding weight loss, exercise, nutrition, have complete confidence that you can speak to me at any time, whether it being in the Facebook group, text message, phone call, whatever. No question is a dumb question. Only the one not asked. Okay. Point number 8. I understand every week that that I'll be putting up information regarding a weight loss leaderboard. There'll also be a points board there and a measurements board. Rest assured, no one knows your starting weight. I want to make that point very clear. Nobody knows that, or measurements for that matter. They only know the percentage loss that you have. That's it, okay? So just so we're very clear. We will see points. Your habits is level playing field for everyone, so that's perfectly fine. But again, if you don't want to be on these boards, let me know, and I can make sure that you're not there. Point number 10 is, point number 9, you're using the points checklist. Personally, team, I feel this healthy habits points checklist is amongst the best thing you can get out of this challenge, because I can help you lose a lot of weight in 6 weeks, but you can then put it all back on, in the same period if you're just purely focused on the result. Instead, focus on the habits that get you from where you are to where you want to be. Those habits ultimately will keep you there. So that's why we've identified a whole bunch of habits that we want you to focus on. And that really is the building blocks of this challenge, and especially even afterwards and outside the challenge, I should say. Point number 10, that your measurements will be done every fortnight. In this challenge team, we will do it weeks 1, week 3, week 5, and week 6. So you'll have 4 lots of measurements, okay, that you're going to do in the challenge. Last point, remember that the weekend is the hardest time. So don't beat yourself up if you gain weight over the weekend. As long as from Monday to Monday, you're losing weight, you're winning, okay? But the reason why we do a Monday and a Friday weighing is that traditionally we have a good work week, Monday to Friday. And because of that, food is generally pretty good. But come the weekend, we get a bit social, we get a bit festive. And when that happens, and then usually on the weekend on top of that, then exercise is down. So we know that formula: food up, exercise down. What happens then on Monday is usually a gain. So now, as long as your loss from Monday to Friday, your loss is greater. Okay, so for example, you lose a kilo Monday to Friday, but then you put on half a kilo over the weekend. That's okay. You're still half a kilo down from week to week. You're winning. But, and a big but, okay, here is if you lose 1 kilo Monday to Friday, but then you gain a kilo over the weekend, well, hey, you've got a little too much of a social life there. And we need to start looking at what we can do to take back the drink or the food and increase the exercise. Okay, so that's why we do 2 weigh-ins a week. Okay, goal setting sheet. Now, team, I'll make sure I have this in the group. Basically, I always like to focus on goals. I do believe by far it's the most underrated component of any kind of journey we go through, whether it being weight loss, business, buying a home, whatever, that you may be going through, setting up a house. It's always good to have goals. So how much weight do you want to lose in 6 weeks? Now, some of you may straight away think, that's a really dumb question, Denver. Obviously, I want to lose as much weight as I possibly can. Can I lose 10, 20 kilos? The answer to that question is probably no. The healthy guide is usually half a kilo to a kilo a week, and actually leading more towards that half a kilo. Look, if you have 10 plus kilos you feel like you have to lose, or that you would like to lose, you probably could ramp that up to 1 kilo a week. But yeah, I think the most we've ever had weight loss in a challenge was like about 10, 12 kilos. But some of these guys were in excess of 120 kilos. So they're big boys. So that's not the norm for everyone, obviously. As the smaller we get, leaner we get, the less weight we lose, is all plain and simple. That's the way the body works. So again, half a kilo to kilo a week is realistic. Now, what are 3 habits you're going to implement to actually reaching those goals? Now, this is really important because it's great to have a result, but then how are you going to get there and what habits you're going to focus on? And you always want to reframe this in a positive way. This will be, and it has to be done specifically. So for example, I will eat breakfast every day. I will stick to my calorie limit. I will use MyFitnessPal, a great one. Another ones, and also all from the healthy habits, I will hit 10,000 steps. I'll drink 2 liters of water. I will get 6 to 8 hours sleep a day, sticking to an allocated dessert budget at nighttime. Very difficult one, I always find, that last point. So focusing on your habits, being very specific and doing it daily, not, a couple of times a week. No, it's got to be something that you do daily. Okay, otherwise that's just airy-fairy and it's really not going to get you where you want to be. Point number 3, what reward will I give myself when I reach my goal? So it's always good to have an outcome, so I believe both in the carrot and the stick. So maybe like, all right, okay, at the end of the 6-week journey, I'm going to book myself in for, I don't know, an hour and a half massage, or ladies or gents for that matter, as all facial, or buy some piece of clothing that is also something I really like, but it kind of represents a bit of a trophy, because it is a symbol of my new physique. That's why I like clothes, because it gives us that idea, and we can link that that item of clothing to a sense of an achievement and a trophy that you've earned. So, and you can actually wear it too, rather than having a trophy. So, and then on top of that, a non-reward. Okay, if you don't achieve your goal. So this could be, for example, I'm going to go for a week without chocolate. Be off social media for a week, donate some money to a charity. That's also a good one. But, sometimes it's a good one, but, you still have to depart with your hard-earned cash. So it's kind of a good one in a way. Not sure if that's a negative though. Maybe something like give money to someone you really don't like. That could be a particular driving force there. That could be even greater motivator than the actual outcome goal sometimes. I know that works for me. Whom will I be accountable to? Now, you're all accountable to me in the challenge. However, it would be good for you to have someone in your own life that you're accountable to as well. Now, that person, you want to make sure is that person, and we all have them, whether it being family or friends, that tells us exactly how it is. Is that person is like, well, you walk into a room and you've gained a bit of weight, and that person says, "Oh, you gained a bit of weight. You're enjoying life a bit, are you?" A little too honest. Is where you want. That's the person. You don't want it someone like your mum or whatever, or sometimes even your partner. Like some of our partners are great. However, they may say, you've had a hard week. It's okay if you've gained a little bit of weight or things a bit rough. It's lockdown. We're just coming out of a COVID lockdown. It's okay if you can. That person isn't going to help you. I'm getting there. They're going to help you in other ways, but they're not going to help us get to this goal. You want the person that's going to tell you the ugly truth. And they do that because they are a great friend. Okay. So find that person. Moving on. Okay, so now I want to quickly go through the healthy habits tracker. So like I said before, your habits ultimately is what gets you to an outcome. It's not the outcome focusing on that number and then trying to be perfect. Instead, look at the habits that we've outlined. And we've done this now. This is shred 32. Now it said 31 there, but this is actually shred 32. So we've been refining habits over time and found that these habits that we've got here are amongst the best to focus on. So first habit, planning your meals for the day. Like your meal prep can make or break your day, whether if you're going to train or not. If your meals aren't planned and your calories are out, it means nothing from a weight loss point of view, unfortunately. You can exercise till you're blue in the face day in, day out. But if your food is not organized, you are organized and prepped to a calorie specific limit, you're not going to lose weight, plain and simple. However, on the other end, if you plan your meals down to perfection, but your exercise isn't there where it should be, you will more than likely lose weight. So unfortunately, that's the power of your exercise over your nutrition over your exercise when it comes to weight loss. I want you always thinking when it comes to weight loss, 70% of my focus needs to be on my nutrition, and it's only 30% on my training. It kills me as a personal trainer saying that, but it is the truth. Point number 2, now leaning towards exercise, second habit, getting 10,000 steps a day. Your exercise throughout the day, and not just when you're working out with me, is vitally important, but we want to make sure we're getting a bare minimum amount of steps or activity per day, or doing our best to do so. Next point, drinking 2 to 3 liters of water. Some of you that may be thinking, wow, that's a lot. Well, on average, we're meant to be drinking 2 liters of water or 8 standard glasses. When you're exercising though and trying to lose weight, well, hey, I'm creating a deficit in my food, so I need something extra to help me feel full. Now, what better way than water? Water is going to hydrate everything. It's going to give me more energy on top of that, and it gives me that sense of fullness too. And it is the best appetite repressant there is because it's keeping my stomach full and 0 calories at the same time. Next point, breakfast. Some of you are thinking, I never eat breakfast. Well, that's all well and good, but however, the stats are really there. These 2 habits that I've just said, breakfast and water, are amongst the 2 habits that people who are overweight and obese, they don't do. They don't drink much water at all, and they absolutely do not have breakfast. So I know a lot of dietitians focus on just those 2 habits, and they have fantastic results, as well with their clients. So as breakfast is like a mini workout for your metabolism, just because you don't feel like it, well, hey, you may not feel like doing exercise, but the benefits of it when it comes to weight loss. So you do it. It's the same concept with our food. Your body is an engine and it needs to be constantly fed. Otherwise, we'll get a flat battery and then trying to do what it needs to do. Breakfast is that jump charge to your metabolism that gets everything going and gets that engine, really rolling. Next point is you've journaled your food in MyFitnessPal. I do feel this is amongst the best habit to focus on and especially using MyFitnessPal, because you can see all the calories in there. And then on top of that, I can see it too. And then it'd be very easy for me to then critique and go back through your food to see what's going on and how I can help you further. So I feel that's a really important one there, because if we get to a certain point and we don't know what's going on, well, and you say, well, yeah, I'm eating good, I'm exercising, I'm not losing weight. Well, hey, how many calories are you having? I don't know. How many steps are you getting? I don't know. Well, how do we know what to change, as well? Like you want to manipulate both ideally, but if we don't have some kind of a track record, we don't know what to do, plain and simple. So that's why it's important to make sure we journal down your food. MyFitnessPal makes things so easy. If there's a barcode on anything, bang, you just scan it and that uploads straight away in there. And the good thing about MyFitnessPal as well, when you've already researched a certain food and you have it quite repetitiously throughout the week, it's already stored in there. You don't have to look for it all over again. Okay. All you have to do is just type the words in and bang, it'll come up with the one that you've had. Next point, having a carbless dinner. I've got some days and some plans where we have carbs, but minimal amount. Remember, team, you don't need a whole massive carb dinner. Carbs are energy. So we don't need a massive amount of energy as we're about to go to bed. Absolutely do not need that. Next point, sticking to an allocated dessert. This is one of my hardest habits. I will say that I tend to snack a fair bit at nighttime. So try to do other things that will distract me, myself. So that's play some games on the iPhone. I find that's amongst one of the better ways to actually do things, and that helps just pass the time and watch something funny on Netflix. Don't use food as that excuse to fight boredom. You've got to look at other things that you can do. Next point, getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep. This is paramount, because if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not getting enough energy. If you wake up tired, okay, really tired, what do you think you're naturally going to do? The body wants to do. It's going to crave carbs, as well, because carbs is energy. The body knows this. It's a smart machine. So it's going to help you that way. So, but by doing that, you're ingesting more food, okay, making it harder for yourself then to burn that off throughout the day with trying to get more exercise. So make sure you get to bed at a certain time. It's always better to keep certain habits. Go to bed at a certain time, get up at a certain time, and try keep that consistent. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so this is a quick rundown of the female meal plan. So as you can see, I've kind of rotated things on a 3-day basis. So if you look at breakfast, for example, one day we got oats, next day we got eggs, next day we got toast and peanut butter. And then as you can see, it kind of rotates there and it keeps doing that. It's the same thing if you go to dinners, you got steak, fish, chicken, steak, fish, prawns, and look, you can rotate it however you like. Now, team, I've given you that variety just so you've got a bit of variety. However, if you're a creature of habit, and I'm definitely there, especially when it comes to breakfast, I try to keep things. I've just recently changed it actually. To oats and eggs. So I just have a big bowl of Uncle Toby's oats. Takes 50 seconds exactly in the microwave, and wifey boils eggs for me. I've got a great wife, and she boils eggs for me on the Sundays, and then that way they're ready to go for the week. Cut them in half, chuck in the microwave for 25 seconds, done. So pretty much in under 2 minutes, roughly thereabouts, I've got breakfast ready to go. So in 5 minutes, then I've got that and a coffee. So happy days. Try to keep it quick, convenient, and simple, as well. That's the way you want to do things. One thing's for sure, the more complicated you make a meal, the less likely it's going to be implemented on a regular basis. So you want to find quick and easy ways on how you can be healthy. One godsend, as far as I'm concerned, and it's becoming very, very popular over these last couple of years. Personally, I've been using it since 2010, the air fryer. Air fryers are fantastic. Cleanest way to cook your food. No fear of burning down the house. It's the equivalent to steaming, but because the air pressure is that intense, your food comes out crispy rather than rubbery like the old steamers used to. Highly recommend an air fryer. You go with whatever brand you like. I've always had good results personally with the Philips air fryer. We had the Coles air fryer for a little while. One of them lasted 2 years, so that was a good stint. The last one only lasted about 9 months. So look, I do think sometimes you get what you pay for. So we updated to Sunbeam, I believe the next model is, and it's only been a couple of weeks, but works perfect. So my recommendation now would be looking at that in hindsight, like my Philips air fryer, my original one lasted probably about 7 years. In fact, it could have been going from now. But my wife, who at the time we met was when we started dating with my girlfriend 6.5 years ago, she was quite skeptical, but she bought one too because she actually liked it. And I think wifey has now had, we still got that air fryer. 1 second, Clarinda, how long have you had the air fryer for?
So we've had the Philips one now for 6 years.
Yeah, there we go. So we've had this Philips air fryer, which we paid probably a little over, Clarinda paid probably a little over $200 for.
I think just under 200.
Just under 200,
No
and
problem.
6.5 years, 6 years later, basically. So that's actually pretty good, as well from that price. But yeah, probably spend something up towards that higher hundreds, or like low 200s or high 200s. Again, you will get what you pay for. Moving on. Okay, so going through some recommendations. Ladies, okay, you are trying your best to stick to 14 to 1,600 calories, okay, to try and get 80 to 100 grams of protein, 60 to 70 grams of fats, and 140 to 160 grams of carbs. Okay, now, gents, you're trying to get between 18 and 2,400 calories, between 120 and 150 grams of protein, 80 grams to 100 grams of fats, and 200 to 220 grams of carbs. Now, you may be looking at thinking, well, why is carbs so much? Carbs are the enemy. Rubbish. We need carbs. Our engine, our body is primarily designed to have more carbs than anything else. And we want to stick to these kind of limits here too. Now, when you put this in MyFitnessPal, you might be quite amazed at what you're having or what you're not having, okay, there. But one thing's for sure, if you're not getting your carbs up, you're not going to be getting metabolism going. Now, we'll be refining this as the weeks progress, but this is our starting basis to begin with. Now this is a quick guide now, guys, when it comes to your carbs, fat and protein. So for 1 gram of carbs, it equals 4 calories. And that's the same also for protein. However, 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. If we take it even further than this, 1 ml of alcohol works out to be 7 calories as well. That's not on this sheet, but anyway. Now, as you can see here with the carbs, what are carbs for? Improve energy and recovery. We all need that. What's protein? Muscle repair and growth. What's fat? Improve energy, hormone balance. Incredibly important for not just ladies, but men as well, as we all get older, as well. And also a lot as we're going to find more and more, as far as I'm concerned, with brain development, and attitude, and just regulating that. Carbs, as well. Here are some examples. You can see that very clearly there. The ones in circles, you can see here, beans, quinoa, milk, peas, and then salmon, cheese, nut butters, and fats. As you can see, it's a circle. It's kind of got a bit of both in terms of carbs and protein for those beans, quinoa, milk, and peas, whereas the other one has a bit of protein and fats, which is salmon, cheese, nut butters, and nuts. So it's actually good to know the bridging ones too as well, because that way you're getting a bit of both, okay, in one hit. We'll go through some quick examples right here. So we got, so this is per 100 grams of the meat. So say we got lean beef over here, per 100 grams, you're getting 31 grams of protein. Some people think that, okay, if I need 150 grams of protein, then I just get 150 grams chicken. Well, as you can see over there in the top right-hand corner, per 100 grams, you're only getting 21 grams of protein. So it's not as much as what you may think. Okay, so that's where it's good to put it in MyFitnessPal. That way you know how much protein you're getting, as well for that day. But also you got examples there with venison, which is deer. You got salmon, chicken, steak, egg whites, if you want to just plain egg whites, cods or whitefish. You got pork, a casein protein shake or protein powder, so protein powder you can get a lot. And I do like to add some kind of a protein shake, especially for those of us who struggle to get the protein that they need throughout the day. And great thing with protein, it keeps you feeling fuller for longer. and it helps suppress that appetite as well as helping you build and repair those muscles. Carbs. Now, most of us don't have any problems knowing what carbs are, so it's our bread, quinoa here, squash, dates, pasta, absolutely, black beans, rice, obviously white potato, dried fruit, banana, yams, so all examples of carbs. And again, you're getting that much carbs, as well per 100 grams. Okay, just so we're clear. Just want to make it very simple for everyone. And as well, over here with fats, these are some examples of 100 of fats. So we got olive, seeds, walnuts, avocados, cashews, nut butters, pistachios, almonds, coconut oil, olive oil. I didn't notice. Yeah, salmon is obviously a big one here too, as well. That's as far as I'm concerned, the elephant in the room there. Yeah, a big one as well that you get good fats. But like I said, it's a bit of a bridge in the other one because it's also got a lot of protein. These ones are purely just fats to a large degree. Now, fats you want to be careful with, okay, team, because while I'm a big believer we need fats is becoming more and more apparent that how the benefits of good fats as more and more research comes out. But you want to be careful when you're not having too much too. So nuts, 50 grams of, 100 grams of nuts, we give you 50 grams of fat. However, times that by 9, that gives you 450 calories. You look at it that way, it's like, oh, wow, geez, I'm only meant to be eating 14 to 1700 calories, ladies. And if that's going to give me that on its own, well, hey, I may want to think that. Well, look, firstly, you're not meant to be getting 100 grams, 50 grams. No, I think 50 grams for the day probably is around where you should be. But yeah, you want to be thinking about how you can spread that over multiple meals, not just in one. But nuts is a very simple way, as well to get that up there. If you have any allergies, eggs, avocado, salmon, as well, there are other ways you can get your fats up there. Coconut oil also a really, really good one. Moving forward. Okay, so changing your macro and calories on MyFitnessPal. There was a little video in there, but we don't have time, and I'll put that also in the group. I want to go through now, team, some foods that Wifey has prepared here, and I'm just going to flip this, pop this screen over, okay, and I'll walk you through it. Okay, so, all right, let's see here. So I've also taken photos of this, and I'll make sure, and that we'll put them in the group. But here's some great ideas, team. And I'll make sure I have some food. So right here, we got some salmon. One second, let's see if I can make that like that. There we go. Yep. So some salmon, which is excellent. Again, that's that bridge between fats, okay, and protein. We got kangabangers. I highly recommend our native animal. Kangaroo is the leanest, lowest in fat, highest in protein, pretty much amongst most animals in the entire world. We're very lucky here in Australia to have such a lean, healthy, super strong animal, native animal. Fish, tuna, always a great, quick and convenient way to get up your protein. You may see also here marinara mix, okay, and barramundi. All these Ocean Royales got from Aldi, but they're all really quality. And again, great ways to get your fish up. As well here, you may see some steamed fresh items here. So you got Thai coconut curry. Again, just really good ways to have a quick, convenient meal, especially when you don't have a great deal of time. I'm a big fan of having frozen meals as a backup, okay, especially when you've had a long day. Work sucks for whatever reason. Not you guys are great. Okay, but yeah, for whatever reason, we've had a hard day and we haven't got our food planned. That's where it's really good to have some frozen meals ready to go. Moving over here now, okay, we've also got our carbs. So I'm a big fan. I'm going to admit, I'm pretty lazy. So I like to make things quick and convenient. So these packets of Uncle Ben's chicken savory, I always buy them on sale and they're only like $1. But yeah, they're actually really good. I usually have half a pack, as well as a serve. Other ones over here are really good here, like this pulse pasta, highly recommend. This is a great one to get your protein up massively there, especially if you want to go a bit veg, if you're a veggie as well. Really, really good one. And I know we got a couple of you guys here in the challenge. Also, we got creamy oats, soybean fettuccine pasta. We got Slendia spaghetti here. As you can see, it's like next to no calories. It's only 10. I'm not a massive fan. I think it's a little bit too low. And if you do eat that, make sure you've got some kind of sauce with it and a fair bit of it, because it doesn't have a great deal of taste. As some of you may have already noticed, I am a big kid, so I do love my popcorn. These packets are fantastic, but you always want to get the recess size packs. Okay, by all means, have your chips if that's something that you like, but no big portions. You always want to stick to the kiddie portions when it comes to nighttime, because otherwise, most of those normal size packs or perceived normal size packs are about the you get about as many calories as that as you do in a Big Mac. So you really don't need that much calories, okay? And especially when it's meant to be a snack, not a main, okay? And Messy Monkeys, you've got all these different options. Big fan also of the YoPro. YoPro is excellent way to get your protein up, as well, up with our snacks. This is something I've been getting into recently. Wifey's been into it for a while. I've really just started coming to the party with zero yogurt, French vanilla. Really, really nice. And make sure you pop in some blueberries, some strawberries, because you can get a massive amount of serve here. As well, saying 175 grams equals a serve. That's actually a massive amount there. However, you're only getting 70 calories. So pop in that with some blueberries, some strawberries.
Sharing the screen and I'll see it bigger.
I have to do it this way. Okay, yeah. So that's the better way to do it. Okay, yeah. So so that's the way to do it with strawberries and blueberries. There we go. Yeah. So that's that there. Also, we got some protein shakes. I've got this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Got some protein shakes. As well in here as well, team. As well, which definitely a quick, convenient way to get your protein up throughout the day. I always look at Woolies and Woolies when they've got a sale on. And again, it's just a quick, convenient way. So if you're a bit low, you can chuck them in the fridge. And then that way you straight away have some quick backups when you're no doubtably going to be running late for something, okay, or you've got a very hard day. This is also quick ways to get your carbs up and some great snacks. Nature Valley bars. I love this. Is actually, I'm not gonna lie, I probably had a few of these this week. These Nut Valley bars, okay, nut butter ones. So these are fantastic, and again, a great way, as well to get your good fats up. We also got jellies, as you can see here. You got a whole bunch of jellies, as well. Great, super low calories, and the great thing about this, you can have an entire bowl of jelly, and it works out to be about 10 calories. Again, a great filler, and you can choose as long as it's a light, okay, that's perfectly fine. We've also got different types of teas, again, low calorie teas, just to hit that sweet tooth, as well at nighttime. But again, they're very, very low calories is what we're getting in here. This is something also, Skinny Cows I've always had in most of my meal plans. They are great. It's like a small chocolate sundae that you may get from Macca's, but obviously smaller and less sugar. A great one, but just make sure you stick to your serve. This is also fine from Wifey, the Peter's light and creamy ice cream. Per serve, it works only to be, so 2 scoops works out to be, again, 2 scoops works out to be only 70 calories. So a great one there, is all they have. This one here, as you can see, it looks like a Gay Time ripoff, and that's exactly what it is. It is a Gay Time ripoff from Aldi, but per serve only works out to be 177 calories. So you can have that, and that will be your dessert for the night, ultimately. And you've got other high protein ice creams. I think Tilly's is a Aldi brand. Okay. Sorry, Kenny's is an Aldi brand. Tilly's and Halo I'm guessing they're a Woolies one, as well. However, I know I haven't had too much of them before, but I'm sure Wifey has said to me before that the taste is probably even better or about the comparable with the Woolworths ones, but for about a third less of the price, which is great. You've also got ways on how to get your water up tank. So different types of cordial. Now, I love the cooler lime one has always been a favorite, especially when I'm struggling to get my water up. This is a great one to actually have. And as well other ones, but you want to experiment with a whole different bunch of flavors. That way it makes it quite interesting for you. Also, this is actually another great find by a Wifey. Dark chocolate from Coles. Good thing about this, it comes in square in packs rather than the whole block, because trying to have self-control with a block can be a bit difficult. Instead, and I'll head back now, instead you want to have something that's already packaged, ready to go. And when you're done, you're done. You don't want to, because we will always consume what's given to us, whether it's half a block, quarter a block, or a small pack. That's the best way to go. And that way you're still getting that little bit of a chocolate fix, but not overdoing it. Okay. And team, that will probably, I know we've got a few quick other slides we'll go through, just looking at time. So alcohol per glass. Now, a standard glass is only 150 mils. So that's 2/3 of a normal glass, not a whole glass, and definitely not a soup bowl. So make sure next time, if you have a regular red or a beer or anything, any form of alcohol, make sure you actually know exactly how much you're having, especially if you're the one doing the pouring or someone else doing the pouring for that. You want to know what it is, because you could very well be drinking your calories completely outside of where you're meant to be. So as you can see here, per standard glass of wine, 150 mils, works out to be 21 minutes of exercise you need to burn that off. Now, that's if you go over your calories. Okay, and it's the same story here for beer, vodka, bourbon, and Coke. Now, also quickly, we got a rice comparison. This is really cool. So you can see here with Uncle Ben's rice, this is one of my favorites. Then you've got cauliflower rice, then you've got Slendia rice. As you can see here, for 125 grams of carbs, Uncle Ben's rice, you're getting 185 calories. Cauliflower rice, you're only getting 23. And then you've got Slendia rice, you've got less again, you got 12. Personally, I'll go with the cauliflower rice over the Slendia. There's not much calorie difference, and it tastes a lot better too. So how you want to do this, if you know that you're running low on carbs, you don't have much to go with, cauliflower, and it's at night time, you want to lean towards something like cauliflower rice or Slendia rice, okay, at night time. So you want to go extra carbs really at lunch, and then start reducing your carb budget as the day starts to progress from the afternoon. However, if you have carbs in your budget, and again, you can do it however you like, then you can have those carbs at nighttime. And especially if you're a vegetarian, because it's almost impossible to completely eliminate, vegetarian or vegan, to eliminate carbs, as well from a meal, if that's your position there. So, which is perfectly fine. So you make sure you balance it however you like. Having a burger comparison now, obviously just for us meat eaters here, we're comparing a normal beef burger to a lean beef burger, and then to the mighty kangaroo. Now, team, this is all per patty, so I can't remember the grams specifically for that, but they all were measured, or maybe it was actually per 100 grams. I'm not too sure. Either way, it was all consistent across the board. So for a normal beef burger, it worked out to be 233 calories. For a lean beef burger, worked out to be 162. But for one burger patty, worked out to be only 104 calories. So as you can see straight away, between the kangaroo and the lean beef burger, the full fat burger, it's almost 2.5 times leaner, as well than that. The carbs are pretty negligible across the board. Protein is very interesting though, how with a full fat burger, okay, you've only got 9 grams of protein. pretty crappy considering you're getting 233 calories. If I'm investing that much calories into some food, I want to make sure I'm getting a decent amount of protein. The lean beef burgers, a lot better. You got 14.5, and then by far better, our kangaroo, which has got 20 grams. Now, this next part is actually really both interesting, really cool, and devastating at the same time. For that one beef burger, again, it's just one patty, you're getting 20.4 grams of fat, and to a large degree, it's saturated fats. Okay, then you got 8.7 grams, okay, of fats for our lean beef burger, and then kangaroo, you've only got 2.4. So I like to look at the comparisons on either end of the two extremes. So as you can see, our kangaroo is 10 times leaner than the full fat cow. It is also twice as muscly, as you can see here, because that represents a protein, than the cow there as well. So if you are a meat eater, okay, I would highly recommend and you haven't tried kangaroo, look, give it a go. If you don't like it, that's fine. I would recommend the sausages to get started though, okay? They've got a nice tomato based coating on them, and it's actually a nice start, so start with that if you're not already eating it. But again, kangaroo, and it's cheaper too, which is a win all around. Healthier, cheaper, winning. Okay, moving on. Pasta, we have normal pasta, San Remo, per 125 grams. Now this is cooked, okay, just so we're clear. Cooked works out to be 454 calories. Pulse pasta works out to be 414 calories. Slendia pasta is only 12, as well. However, this is the very interesting part here between the normal pasta and the pulse, is that normal pasta, you're getting 90 grams of protein. So per gram, pasta, it has amongst the most, calories than any other carb. That's why it tastes so good. And then the next one here, we got 57.5 grams of carbs for pulse, and then you got less than a gram for the Slendia, again, because that's made out of vegetables, more vegetables than anything else. And again, however, looking at the pulse versus the normal spaghetti, this is the interesting part. Again, moving down, because you only get 15 grams of protein for your pasta there. And again, that's really crappy. I know it's carbs there, but yeah, to get only that much calories, that much grams of protein, considering I'm investing 454 calories, really sucks. Whereas I'm getting 28.8 grams of protein with the pulse. Now, the pulse, as you can see here on the slide, it's got peas, lentils, chickpeas, and botticelli beans. Remember, all those items, they're in that bridging gap between protein and carbs. They're not either one or the other. It's got a bit of both. And then the fats pretty much amongst the board, they're pretty much negligible. So if you haven't given pulse pasta a go, give it a go. If you know you're running really low on your calories, you can try the Slendia. There's also, I can see up here, soybean fettuccine, or even zoodles, which is zucchini noodles, which I think we might have in the next slide, that you can substitute at nighttime, especially. We got a meat comparison here, Tam, okay, between normal meat and lean beef mince. So as you can see here, for the normal beef mince per 100 grams, you're working out to be 217 calories. Extra lean beef mince works out to be 129 grams. The carbs are pretty much negligible. So is the fats. So is the protein. However, when you get to the fats, this is the interesting part. So again, for the full fat regular mince, okay, you're getting 17 grams of fat, whereas the extra lean beef mince, you're only getting 4.7. That's quite huge, as all the difference, especially when you're trying to save on those calories and those fats. The calories right there, you're saving the better part of 80 calories, 85 calories, sorry, 88 calories per serve, which per 100 grams is actually pretty good. But your fats is actually quite massively down. And yep, that's the end of our presentation by the looks of things here. I'll stop this right here. Team, that's the end of the presentation. Please let me know if there's any questions you may have on the workshop. Happy to answer them. We are going to dive more and more deeply into nutrition, okay, with this workshop, because you're going to see how much this is going to help you accelerate your weight loss. Thank you, everyone. And hopefully we have a few of you join us for next week with our cheat meal and fast food and cheat meal workshop. Cheers, everybody.